It's Monday, February 24th, 2025, which means we are just a paltry 4 weeks out from this right here, the Mining Disrupt Expo. I've been telling you about it for months now. It is almost upon us. We are just weeks out from the biggest, the baddest mining expo to ever hit the United States. This time, it's moving up just a few miles from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Get yourself locked in, poke around on X for some sweet deals, and make sure you do not miss out on this opportunity. There are going to be so many incredible speakers there. I can't even remember all of them, but there are people like Ben from BTC Sessions. There's Scott of the BitAxe fame. I'm pointing to my hat because Scott has talked to the Solo Satoshi guys. I'm aware of him. I want to meet him. I want to meet this guy. I've got questions. I'm curious what's coming down the line. He's got that new BitAxe. He's talking about the 12 ASIC chip one. This is crazy. Home mining is getting more affordable, more accessible by every single day. And people like Scott are leading the charge on that. And yes, there is definitely still room for the big players to make their moves. But boy, oh boy, I am looking forward to an entire new industry. The BitAxe is opening the doors for people like you and me to just walk into a store. We're not there yet, but we're not far from being able to walk into a Best Buy, a Circuit City, oh well, we don't have Circuit Cities anymore, but a Best Buy, a Walmart, and going, which BitAxe do I want? Do I want this one? Do I want the big one? Do I want the $200 one? Do I want the $50 one? Plug it in and start doing some home mining, helping to decentralize the network and have your chance at 3.125 Bitcoin, just, $300,000 worth of Bitcoin. On that note, as I jump over and show you the numbers right here, even though I am showing you the Bitcoin numbers, this is a stark reminder that this is not where you come for your financial advice. Look, there's a lot of numbers to talk about. Yes, you might see that big $96,000 number. Yes, you might see that you can get 1,037 sats for $1, but I am not the guy to get your financial advice from. Now, there is one number that I like to point out right down here. The public nodes, 21,000. I have never seen that over 22,000, but with your help, that could be possible. Now, what I'm going to be talking about in the opinion section here in a moment ties directly to that trifecta of self-custody, running your own node, and home mining. It's three huge important things. But if you're a newbie, if you're just getting into Bitcoin, I would say of those three, absolutely, unquestionably, do not skip on the self-custody side of things. It is extremely important to get that right. Now, there's two hacks that are going around, two exploits, two social engineering attacks. One of them you probably heard about. The other one, I regret to say, may have slipped under the radar, and there's a decent chance you are at risk right now. There could be things that you are not aware of that is putting you at severe risk to losing everything. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here. I'm being very serious. I'm going to be talking about it here in just a short minute after I go over the news. But pay attention, because this stuff is getting more sophisticated every single day. Now, on the news side of things, let's just jump right into it. This came out on Monday from FaZe Banks. He's apparently the CEO of the FaZe clan, big in the gaming side of things. The only advice I'll ever have for anyone regarding crypto ever again, I have no idea if this is what he sounds like, celebrity or otherwise, buy Bitcoin and shut the F up. Good advice. I think British Hodl would approve of that message wholeheartedly. Now, this one for Tuesday is a bit longer. Daniel Batten is talking about Tether buying 51% stake in Edakarago, a renewable energy and agriculture company, for $1.24 billion. Now, the thing to keep in mind here, I'm not going to go through the whole tweet here, but the thing to keep in mind is that we are seeing these kind of headlines over and over and over again. And what you're not seeing is anything other than Bitcoin mentioned. Interesting. Moving on to Wednesday, this one from Solo Satoshi is maybe a little controversial. He says, we don't want a $5,000 check. Talking about the Elon dividend thing that's been banged around, maybe, who knows. We want to bankrupt the industrial Bitcoin mining complex with open source Bitcoin mining. Moving right on over into Thursday, Macroscope17 here says, posted almost a week ago. After that, a Bitcoin sell-off and lots of headlines about gold's surge. He's talking about what's happening in gold right there. Meanwhile, since then, gold is up 0.4%, but Bitcoin is up 1.2%. Should be watched closely. And the reason he's mentioning this is because people were talking about this for a couple months now. They were saying that gold moves first because it's got a lot bigger of a network effect. There's a lot more people that are invested in gold. It's a much, much higher market cap. So when you see things happening in gold, Bitcoin is soon to follow. There is a bit of a lag. Depends on who you talk to, how long that lag is, but it does follow. Now on Friday, this one is from Jason P. Lowry, and he's talking about something that ties directly to the Bybit hack, and also to what I'll be talking about in the opinion section. He says code is never broken in any hack. 100% correct there. The code is just doing what you tell it to. The root cause of all cybersecurity incidents is simply the exploitation of the encoded logic. People knowing how to manipulate it and do what they want with it to get what they want out of it. If only there was a way to secure a network by imposing a steep physical cost on the attacker rather than relying on encoded logic, like some kind of proof of physical cost protocol. And on Saturday, this one is from Carl B. Menger. He's talking about the Bybit hack, exposing Ethereum's weakness. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because this right here is the key point. Adam Back saying, blind signing. Sigh. And then Parachutes here says, sign here, please. Doesn't look at document and signs. Thank you for the 1.4 billion. Wait, what? And that brings me right into the opinion section. Now, at the outset, I mentioned two hacks. The first one I don't think should be too worried about. It was the Bybit hack. This is what I was mentioning earlier when the person said, oh, sign here. Okay, I sign. And whoops, there goes $1.4 billion. Where did it go? North Korea? Maybe? Lazarus Group? Who knows? Now they're trying to swap it for Bitcoin. It's all a little bit muddy. It's a little bit unclear. I hope you weren't affected by this. But this other one is the main focus. Now, to save you some time, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to hit the main points here. Basically what happens, and this can happen to anybody. Seb Bunny here is a prominent Bitcoiner. He started or helped co-found Looking Glass EDU, which is a Bitcoin education website. He's no slouch. He's not just a silly Billy boomer that doesn't know anything about computers. He knows stuff. And this is happening to people like him. Basically, somebody reaches out to you in the DMs and says, hey, do you want to collaborate? Let's talk. And you go, cool, yeah, seems legit, let's talk. Step 2 is they send you an invite to authorize an app to do things like post on your behalf. You've probably seen things like this. Oh, sure, okay, whatever, hit accept, move along with my life, no big deal. And you can view which things you've given permission to on X. But the problem with doing that is that it gives them more access than you probably realize. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go through the full thing here because it's a bit involved. But you need to be aware that this is going on out there. Now, I said this might have slipped under the radar. I wasn't kidding. Look, there's only 57 bookmarks on this right now. 205 likes. Only just shy of 100 retweets, 27 comments. This is not anywhere near as well known as it should be. And it's a thing that can happen to anyone. You might think, well, no, they're only reaching out to people that have tons and tons of followers. No, that's not true. Seb has less than 10,000 followers here. So while 10,000 or just shy of followers might seem like a whole lot to some people, it's about 10 times what I've got. That still isn't anywhere near massive celebrity accounts or the numbers that Lynn Alden has or Preston Pish or Dylan LeClaire. This can happen to anyone. And the takeaway here is that as long as you have your Bitcoin in cold storage, in self-custody, then you're gonna be good. Do not have those seed words on a notepad on your computer. Do not have it saved in an email. Don't put it in Google Drive. Have it far away from any digital devices. You do not want to run the risk of somebody getting access to your computer, scanning it for combinations of 12 words that sure look like a seed word, and then what do you know? Next time you go to your wallet, nothing's there. Be vigilant, be aware, and stay on top of this stuff. I'll see you next week, and if you're at the Fort Lauderdale Mining Disrupt Expo happening in about a month, I'll see you there.